Indy News 144. We're going all across the Indy universe, and we're going to be talking about X. It's coming back to the racks at Dark Horse in a big, big way. We're going to tell you how. Brian Stelfreeze has got his own series called Daymen coming from Boom. There's going to be a cancellation over at Oni Press. We're going to let you know what it is. Here's a hint. It might be a pilot for NBC this year, but it's still getting canceled. And we're going to wrap it all up with the Stoner Jasper Jenkins. All that and more coming right up. The happiest day of the year for comic book fans is, of course, Free Comic Book Day. And Free Comic Book Day 2013 is going to be on Saturday, May 4th, starting at 9 a.m. here at Alternate Reality. And on that day, I'm giving all of these free comic books away. Since 2002, I've given away over 35,000 free comics to folks here on the South Side, and you can get yours. All you have to do is be down here on Saturday, May 4th, anytime between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. to get your free comic. Don't miss it. It's the happiest day of the year, right after Christmas.
When indie comic news calls, Bone Comic Book Man come running. I mean, if they could run, they would.
Who sees old and thinks, yeah, that's the way to go? Endgame decrepidation authorized. Indie Comic Book News, episode 144, Grim Cream.
Hey, man, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video
Here,
out.
man.
Bo?
Yeah, man.
What are we up to?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Oh, it says right here, Indy News.
Oh, yeah, it's Indy News.
Indy News. Indy News is coming to you from this place. Alternate Reality. It's located at the intersection of 111th Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. That is so...
Dude,
Where's the dog,
Dude, where's my car? Dave's not here, man.
Why are we acting like this? Yeah. Because Joe Casey and Dale Masserina are doing a new image series called
The Bounce!
The Bounce, which has got what in it?
It stars Jasper Jenkins, who's a slacker and a recreational drug user. So yes,
Stoner.
he goes out, he gets high, and he goes out and fights crime.
Great.
Now, Casey says...
Those two things
They
would seem
really
to be
don't
working
go
at
together.
cross purposes to each other.
So
I would think that you wouldn't want to get off your butt.
I'm assuming, because he does a lot of acrobatic stuff, because you've seen art, I'm assuming he falls down a lot.
Falls down a lot, yeah.
Now,
And laughs when he falls down for a long time. Oh, man, that is so messed up, man.
That's messed up,
See
man.
my elbow?
Yeah, is that my bone?
Oh, that's mad.
Now, Casey said he's had the idea for this series for a while. He's been working on it, but apparently he works on the Ultimate Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
And he went through the first couple years of Amazing Spider-Man. He says, there was something that was introduced back then that Marvel hasn't done anything with since. And so that's going to be the backbone of this new ongoing series, The Bounce, which cannot be mixed up with his ongoing series, Sex.
Bouncy sex.
Don't read the two together.
Bouncy, sex. Well, there you go.
Superhero stuff and sex.
And sex. Okay, but
Casey's
sex isn't really about sex.
Casey's a very interesting guy.
Sex isn't really about sex. It's
It has
about
a lot
other
to do with
stuff.
All
bouncing,
that
though.
too. A lot of
Bouncing.
bouncing.
You know.
Bouncy.
Meanwhile, someone who is not nearly as loosey-goosey is, of course, Dark Horse's ex. That man drinks way too much caffeine.
He's got a chain around his neck. He's got a mask. He's got this X thing. We don't even know if he's a man or a woman. We have no idea.
X, I think he's a man. His chest, she's a very underdeveloped woman. If it's
Maybe he's wearing some padding.
But that book has been coming slowly our way from Dark Horse now for a while, but it's going to be roaring our way in May.
Yeah, Dark Horse Presents, they're going to do a 4-issue limited series. You've been seeing the adventures of the new Adventures of X in Dark Horse Presents. You're going to do, Swiderski and Eric Nguyen are doing a 4-issue limited series which is coming out this May. And Swiderski says, if you're a big X fan, I have more stuff to work on because he's going to do a 5-issue limited series crossover involving X, Ghost, and the resurrected Captain Midnight.
The Captain Midnight. The original Golden Age Captain Midnight. Okay. Meanwhile, over at Boom, Brian... Boomy Bounce is going. Brian Stelfreeze is doing his first interior art since 2005 on his own little project called.
It's called Daymen. It'll be written by Michael Allen Nelson and Matt Gagnon. The last time Stelfreeze did interior art was for Wednesday's Comics.
Yes.
That was the last time he did anything.
A long time ago.
He's been doing nothing but covers. The series is set in a world of secretly controlled by a network of vampires called the 50 Families, who are protected by their human people known as the Daymen. So, when they're all, when the vampires are underground and they're in the little coffins, and people will go, since they're not there, why don't we do some terrible things? And so the Daymen
come and protect them.
And kick the living crap out of anyone in the city.
Yes. Okay.
Who threaten the vampire.
And we're going to wrap it all up with not a series that's starting, but a series that is ending over at Oni Press.
Cullen Bunn's Six Guns is going to end in 50. We may see stories taking place in the same world. Cullen Bunn's Six Gun is also a high contender to be a TV series on NBC this year because he's working on a pilot.
Okay.
So, but it's one of the. I think they got about 30 pilots they've ordered, and I think that's like one of their top 10, they said.
Okay. And that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. Got no more Indy news. Go to the store's website, though. Check out all the Indy news Bo sends me that I post up there. Bo?
Yes.
You think Sarah's stoned right now? What?
Sarah does not do drugs. And kids, don't do drugs. Or don't get caught.
www.myalternatereality.com. It's #1 with witch doctors and human cannonballs.
And so go to the store's website. Check out all his news. Till next time, this is Comic Book Man.
I'm high on life.
He's saying, kids, I agree with him. Don't do drugs because you know what? The money that you spend on drugs is money you could just as easily be spending here at Alternate Reality.
You
on
can
comic
change
books.
your perspective on life by reading a comic
Personally,
and getting into that universe.
Personally, I don't have a problem if you get stoned. I have a problem with you spending the money you could be spending on comics.
Besides, you can walk into this store and buy a comic and you don't have to worry about the cops picking you up.
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to buy drugs? You could get arrested.
You could get arrested depending on
Entirely legal.
Yes. So until next time,
So far.
bye.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.